Hey everyone, so I just added the Mountain Pass Performance brake rotors to my car, and they're pretty cool, all right? I'm gonna show you all about them. First, I'm gonna do an unboxing. I'm gonna talk about why the MPP rotors are actually better, and then go through a DIY install. Full install, how to put them on. They're pretty easy. They're really easy to put on. After you install them, you have to do a bedding procedure, all right? I go through that. Then I discuss braking, the MPP versus the OEM rotors. Finally, I do a brake test temperature test. Brake test temperature test. Yeah, I think that's right. I do a lot of very quick, hard stops and compare the differences between the OEM rotors and the Mountain Pass Performance rotors. Yeah, there's a difference. These things do make a difference. So anyway, stay tuned. As usual, down below, I have everything chaptered out, so you can skip around. You obviously don't have to watch the whole video. It'd be great if you did. Just put it on in the background. It's good to listen to. But anyway, you can jump around and see whatever you want to see. Okay, if you don't stick around to the end, I'm going to throw this out there now. I've got a bunch of videos in the works. One of them, I just might have the world's quickest long-range Model 3, all right? I just might. I'm going to show you how I did it, and I'm going to show you how you could do it also. Also, garage makeover. I did... not an entire, well, I don't know. Let's just call it an entire garage makeover. And it turned out pretty cool, starting with the floors. All right, I got a whole new flooring in here. I'm going to get it completely cleaned out and finish the video up for you, but it's cool. It's really cool. So please like and subscribe. A lot of cool things, a lot of cool videos coming up. So FedEx ruined the unboxing, all right? I'm just going to come right out and say it. Package came like this. I'm assuming they lifted it up and it twisted and broke, but just so you guys know, I haven't looked at this yet, so you're here with me just to make this unboxing like official and stuff. All right, so upgraded brake rotors. Ugh. Okay. Oh, see this? This has not been opened yet, so. I need a new razor. Wow. All right. Can't even look at that right now after seeing this. Holy cow. Wow, these look good. Dang. I mean, wow, wow, wow. That the directional slots in there, and these have to be put on, well, I'll get into it, these have to be put on a specific way, but left and right. But holy cow, do these look good. I mean, man, that is really nice. That is super sharp. So this piece here is aluminum, which I'm assuming is what saves all the weight. I mean, still heavy, lighter than the stock, but you know, still heavy. Oh yeah, so here's the tag, left. Wow, that is sweet. Okay, let's get these on. Now, stock brakes, really nice calipers. You know, these are by Brembo. And they function really, really well. Unfortunately, the pads that come with it, not so great. The rotors that come with it, definitely not so great. So what I have done is called up Mountain Pass and had them send over their finest rotor. All right, it's not their finest rotor. It's actually maybe the low end of their rotors, but this is a really good rotor. What makes these rotors so great? First thing, aluminum top hats as opposed to cast iron. So even though this material here, most likely it's the same type of cast iron, probably the same weight. This top hat being aluminum knocks off 4.5 pounds per rotor, 9 pounds total saved. Then you've also got the rotational mass. Rotational mass is a bigger factor when you're talking about something like a tire. That's a further diameter from the hub. You know, you shave off, it's like a 2x kind of a thing with a tire. So in other words, if you were to shave off 10 pounds from a tire, it would be like shaving off 20 pounds of just mass in general on the car. But when you're talking about saving weight in a rotor, when it's this close, the diameter is a lot smaller, it's this close to the hub, the factor is only like 1.2 or so. So if you're saving 10 pounds, it would be like saving 12 pounds of real mass. Quick little rotational mass equivalence kind of lesson. So they're lighter. So it also has these cool vanes in here. These are going to keep gases from building up, and it keeps the pads from glazing. The vanes here, the cooling vanes, they're directional. So you have to put these on, you know, the right and left side, and it will help cool the disc a lot better. Also, because this is aluminum, the heat won't transfer into the hub nearly as easily as it will with the stock rotors. Okay, that's helpful. Helps, you know, increase the life of your bearings. Now, will these allow you to stop faster? No. Will they allow you to continue to stop as fast as you can at a track, or if you constantly just stop after stop after stop? Well, yeah, because it's going to keep things cool, which keeps things in the range that it's designed to. I don't care what kind of brake pads you have, they're only designed to work in a certain heat range. And if you go above that, they don't perform nearly as well. So these keep things a lot cooler. Lighter weight down here, unsprung weight. Less weight means the suspension is going to be able to react a lot more quickly. Things are going to feel a little bit more lively. It's better for your suspension, all right? You turn the wheel, everything's going to be quicker. It's better. It's just better, okay? This is the stock 320 millimeter. They make a 365 millimeter rotor, which again, I wish I could have bought, but I'm probably going to be using these stock wheels and tires for a while. And even if I do buy new wheels and tires, I'm still going to be using the stock ones for winter time, and the 365 millimeters won't work with those. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I would recommend that if you do not have the stock wheels and tires any longer, to go ahead and buy that 365 millimeter kit. It comes with a little spacer that kicks out the caliper a little bit to accommodate that size. But yeah, 365 millimeter versus 320 mil, that's huge. That's a big deal. And also those 365 millimeter rotors, they're still lighter than these by like 3.4 pounds or something. So, I mean, that's a double win. I really wish I could have bought those. All right, so these are real easy to swap out, actually. I mean, it's really simple. We get in here. We got to take this 10 millimeter bolt off just to get the line out of the way, pull some slack out of this. Okay, see these bolts here? There's one here, and there's the same one down here. All right, these are E-Torx bolts, external Torx, and it's a bit of a pain, this car. I had to buy actually new tools. I had never, I mean, I've used Torx bits before, but never E-Torx, external Torx. This is an E18. And we use that to pull these guys off. Once we take this off, we just set it aside for a second, take off the old rotor, put the new one on, and really it's that simple. The other thing that has to come off is this 10 millimeter bolt here that really, I took it off because I've got some wheel spacers. That's another video, check it out. You got to have wheel spacers on a supercar. But these just hold the rotor on for installation. You really don't need it. So let's get this off. All right, this caliper shouldn't really fall, but you don't want it to fall because you're going to mess up your brake line here. So this comes out. This is another reason, actually, I probably should have left that bolt on before I took this off, because you see how this rotor moves around. That's really the only issue with not using that bolt. So this comes off, and normally you would use some kind of a hanger or something to hold that caliper, but it's kind of a nice shelf here. It stays there pretty easily, pretty well, so no worries there. Then this guy just comes right off, just like that. Now we should really clean this up. It's not crazy bad, but you see a lot of rust, surface rust here. And just get yourself a wire brush. Be sure to have a bunch of brake cleaner. Couple things before we install this. Like I showed you before, they're right and left, so these vanes have to be pointed in the right direction in order to function properly. These are directional in here. So rotors always come coated with some kind of anti-corrosive material. It's, you know, some kind of oil basically, and we got to get that off, so more brake clean. Okay, so for now I'm going to install that bolt back in just to help with the rest of the installation. Okay, now if your pads are not worn very much, which most Teslas are not, you can slide this back on. Otherwise you have to separate, open up these pistons, push these pistons out a little bit more, and that is a little bit tricky to do, and I'm not even going to cover that. All right, I would recommend spraying some brake cleaner. Mine are not dirty at all. I did upgrade the pads on this. Please look at my other video. These are the Mountain Pass pads, which are like way worth it. But yeah, please check out that other video. All right, you gotta line this thing up like just right to get it on, but it's really not that difficult. Same thing with these bolts. When you're putting these bolts back in, everything's got to be lined up just right, and you can feel it, and you can get the bolts started. Now these e-torque bolts need to be torqued at 94 Newton meters. Okay, 94 Newton meters is about 69 foot-pounds. Okay, we just got to get this line. Just got to get this line bolted back in. I'm going to remove this because not only do we not need it, but it doesn't work with my wheel spacer, which is another video. Please watch that. So that's it, guys. Supercar brakes for my supercar. Oh man, these things are screaming supercar. Okay, that's maybe whispering supercar. Supercar. General bedding procedure. Drive the vehicle to a remote area and perform at least 20 brake applications of 3-second duration. Use light deceleration with varying starting speeds. Here we go. All right, what is next? Purpose is to gradually increase the temperature in the components without inducing thermal shock and to mate the brake pad and disc friction surfaces. After the repeated stops, drive the vehicle for several miles on the highway generally, with little or no braking in order to adequately cool the component. While on a highway, perform 10 braking applications using light to medium pressure for periods of about 5 seconds. So, let's get on a highway, cool them off. First, I want to see how hot these suckers are. You know, not that hot. This is just after the first part of the bedding procedure. You know, a little over 200 degrees or so. Definitely built up some heat. Let's drive them around, cool them off, and then hit them harder. All right, all cooled off, so time to do the highway speeds. About 55 miles an hour, 5-second stops. All right, so I just got done doing the highway procedure, 10 stops, doing between 60, 70 miles an hour. Pretty quick succession, and you know, I can feel the heat coming off of these things. It's a really nice day today. It's about 72, 73 degrees, so you know, it's not like hot outside. And man, I can really smell these things too. Okay, yeah, 340. That's right on the, pretty much right on the rotor there. Rotor surface, braking surface, 350. Wow. So after this, I guess it's ready to drive normally, which for me is pretty much never using my brakes, like most people with the Tesla. But that's the procedure, and yeah, these brakes do get hot. You know, what would be real interesting, but really hard to do, would be to perform the same, you know, the same exact test with the stock rotors and pads, or at least just the stock rotors, to see what they would heat up to. Okay, the battle of the brake rotors is about to begin. OEM versus Mountain Pass Performance. Here, we've got our standard OEM rotor, okay? Non-performance model. And on this side, the competitor, Mountain Pass Basic Street Rotor. You can see I got a little rusty the other day, and some of that rust is cleaning off. So, the Mountain Pass rotor, again, is just their basic street rotor. It's not the bigger size at all. This rotor will fit with the 18-inch wheels, and you won't have any fitment issues. If you wanted to go bigger, you're going to need a bigger wheel. So I've just got the standard size. And what we should see, though, is after making a number of really hard stops, we'll see how many that equates to, we should see this rotor not getting as hot. We've got a couple reasons for that. One of them is because we've got this aluminum top hat, and the vanes inside the rotor here should help cool it better. These aren't really necessarily for cooling here, but they do assist the rotor. And also the temperature of this top pad should be a lot cooler than on this side here, because this is still iron. You know, this is like a one-piece, basically it's a one-piece rotor. This is going to get just as hot as that surface, basically, which means that this heat is going to transfer a lot more directly into the hub, which contains your wheel bearings. So hot wheel bearings can't be as good of a thing as cooler wheel bearings. And because some of the pieces are aluminum here, the overall heat should dissipate faster. The pads should work better because they're not under as much heat. And I don't know, the rotor should just be of a better material, higher carbon steel content, and who knows what other magic they've got in here, but they should be better. But anyway, I'm gonna go make a number of really hard stops, come back out here and check the temperatures, see what we get. this even. All right, right in the center. $350, $360, keeps going up. All right, $366. Okay, now, right in the center, $247, $246. Ow, man. Burning on the wheel. Okay. 36. Okay. Get here. 216, 215. Okay, so what do we got? The Mountain Pass rotors look to be about 30 degrees cooler in my little test, okay? This is nice. If you race or drive your car hard, these are really kind of a must-have. Actually, if you've got bigger wheels than the 18-inch stock, I would definitely get the 365 millimeter. I wouldn't even waste your time with these smaller ones, these stock size. You know, they are a little bit lighter than the 365 millimeter. These 320 millimeter are a little lighter than the 365 millimeter, but I'm not sure that's worth it as much as the difference in performance you're going to get from the better, bigger rotors. So if you're going to do it, just go with the 365 if you've got 19-inch or greater diameter wheels. Okay, coming soon. I may just have the world's quickest Model 3, all right? And if it's not, I'll show you how you could have the world's quickest Model 3. Also, I did a garage makeover, starting with the floors and a number of other things in here. I'm going to get this garage cleaned up and then finish that video, but I'm real happy with it. So stay tuned, all right? Like and subscribe. Thanks.